Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and today we're going to have a look at Core Space original starter box. So this is the original one, not the newer one with the Purge and what have you in their galaxy. This is set in the original galaxy, and it's made by Battle Systems. Now I'm trying to show you how big this thing is, but I decided stupidly to use a transparent ruler so you can't really see what the heck I'm doing. But yeah, trust me, this box is a nice squarish box. You know, it's a chunky one. It's not a long. So in the box comes with a neoprene mat for the game, which is really nice. You don't usually get neoprene mats in games as a basic, but yeah, this is in the box, and it's a nice pattern, you know, nice design. You know what you get with neoprene, and it feels like a decent quality one. You know, it doesn't feel like it's going to separate from the backing, etc., which some do. And it's fairly thick, so keep that folded up and put it in the box. So it also comes with this Core Space rulebook, obviously, with nice art and all on it, pictures of the crews that you might bump into, etc. I didn't find that this rulebook was particularly well laid out. I struggled to understand how to play the game just by looking at this. But, you know, if you go through some videos on YouTube, etc., you can soon find some explains how to play the game. Excuse me if there's a bit of shudder there, my microphone cut out. So yeah, it's nice art. It's you know, it gives you everything you really need to play the game. Although it's missing a few things, which you can get the deluxe hardback edition, which fills in like making your own crews with your own miniatures, etc. But this gives you everything that you need to play the actual game. Although, like I said, the instructions are somewhat confusing. So this is the Purge tracker, and it's going to have cardboard pieces that go on it, etc. We've got some dice, of course. You know, every game needs their own dice. And then these are the dashboards for the crew. So, yeah. And then we've got some pegs, and more pegs, and even more pegs, all to track the various skills and wounds and what have you. They give you some baggies so you can put the extra stuff in, etc., which is quite nice. So next we got the event cards. So you've got a bunch of these event cards which pop up. The cardboard is fairly decent for a thing, quite thin if you're thinking of playing cards, but not bad quality cards. You know, they're not going to split or anything. So then we got the rings to go around your crew, and the scenery plastic as well to hold the scenery together, and a little Core Space bag to put, you know, your loot and etc. in. So this is the box of miniatures, which we'll come back to now in a minute. So I like this bit. These are compartment dividers, so you can put it in your box, and it splits up your box so you can put all the little tokens, etc., in their own separate little thing. Whoop, as I knock the camera everywhere. So, cardboard. Yes, there is a lot of cardboard in this box, as you would expect, because it's made by Battle Systems, whose primary thing has always been making cardboard scenery, etc. But of course, has moved into games more recently, I suppose, although this game isn't that young anymore. So if we crack this open, we can have a look at all the nice cardboard pieces that we get. So different tokens for different effects. That's the Purge tracker that I was on about, goes in there. And then we got like the crew and the civilians. So it's quite interesting in this game. You've got civilians wandering around. Again, as you'd expect from a company that really has made its money from cardboard, they're decent thickness cardboard and they look pretty decent. So this is all the terrain that you have to build up to play. Yeah, lots of cardboard. And this is the ship tokens. Yep, so that's there's two of them there, and they're for both of the ship's crews, etc. So yeah, on to opening the box of miniatures. So having a look at the miniatures. Now I'm terrible remembering names, so I don't remember what this dude's name is. But yeah, they look like nice, clean, single piece plastic miniatures with integrated bases. And as you can see, you know, they look clean enough. There's no obvious mold lines on them. There probably is, but aren't too bad, you know. and yeah, they look pretty good in their action poses, etc. Now I'm going to quickly just show you what they look like unpainted, because you know they're not particularly exciting, but after this section I will be showing you what mine look like once I have painted them up. So that's why I'm just shooting through them, showing you what they look like. And like I say, they look kind of clean. This dude's on one leg and he doesn't look like he's leaning over or anything, which is nice, because he's got the previous dude had quite thick boots, so he's giving him quite a bit of contact point. I quite like these sort of dynamic poses that they've got. You know, they look like they're actually doing something as opposed to just, you know, milling around, etc. So these are the crew of the two crews rather that you get in this starter box, and they're nice looking miniatures. I can't say there's anything wrong with them. So if you wanted to play with them unpainted, you know that the blue are the civilians, and the previous ones, the sort of grey colour ones, are the crews, and the beige or brown are the purge. So you know, you can play with them unpainted if you wanted to, you know, just out of the box. So that's a pretty good idea. So miniatures, yeah, I'd say the miniatures are pretty decent looking, and I will give you my ideas once I finish painting them on whether or not they were easy to paint, hard to paint, or whatever. So first of all, this is some of the items or scenery that I have made up. Now they do suggest you go around the cardboard ends, etc., drawing them in black to make them blend into the surroundings a bit better, but I am bothered, and you know, they look good enough, and they, yeah, decent quality, quite a hard card, so you know they're going to survive pretty well. This is a crate which you can actually open, so you can put stuff in it, the tokens, etc., and then you can open them up and you find out what you actually got. And these went together really easily. There were a couple of pieces which I found quite difficult, the chairs, etc. I found quite difficult not to break, but most of it went together really easy. And as you can see, you know, they do their job, and they're quite nice looking, you know, just as little bits of scatter terrain, etc. So having a look at the miniatures, so we have like a bunch of these purge droids. Whoops, there you go. The purge droids, which I painted up in sort of similar colours to what they have in the book, etc. And yeah, they paint up quite easily. It's with these sort of things, a bit like a stormtrooper. You have to think what, you know, how to make them stand out when they are basically, you know, one colour or two colours. But yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with the sculpts, etc. Most of them sort of, like here, you can see that the line doesn't quite finish, so I have to paint it in because it didn't seem like it was on the on the actual model very well. But generally speaking, they're quite nice little models. They're hard wearing models. You know, I think they could take a decent battering without breaking. You know, the legs aren't that spindly that they will break easily, which is good. So then we got the, I think, Annihilator, oops, which I've already scraped off a bit of the paint off the base, which isn't very good, is it? So we have two of those, and like so. And then we have the civilians. So I like this dude. I think he's cool. I like his jacket. Got a very, you know, very interesting style, and yeah, it's appreciated. He's dressed up really nicely, and I think that about most of them. They do give them a certain style about each of the characters. So you know, they're not just space marines or something. You know, they're not all same blending into one another. They are individuals, like this little dude, or big dude, big alien civilian wandering around on board the ship, and again, a nice looking miniature. So we have the big bad here. So he's the big bad for this game. Oops. And they painted up well. The features are fairly decent, a little bit soft, but I would say not bad at all, to be honest. And very sort of Infinity-esque, I would say, the models' designs are. They're, I don't know, a bit anime looking, I would say, and I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. So I think it's Roy Kirk. I don't know their names, so you're just gonna have to bear with me when it comes to names. I have yet to play this game, even though I've had it for quite some time. So obviously, not all of your miniatures may not look like this. They may look better. I hope they look better than mine, but if not, this is how I've done them anyway. So you got an idea of what they look like once they've painted up. So yeah, sort of looks like Leon a bit from Resident Evil, doesn't he? And here's the running dude that I was on about. One good thing, like I said, he's got quite big boot on, so that's quite a bit of surface area to join on to the base. So I don't think it's going to snap off, which would be really a pain. But no, I think he's going to be okay. And then we got another one with his shotgun or whatever. And these can be used in any sort of sci-fi, near future game, whatever. I find it always weird that they have their holsters stuck on the outside of their jackets, which seems a bit weird to me. Seems like it should be under their jacket, but hey, they're from the future. Maybe they got some technology to make them stick to their jackets. I don't know. And then this dude, kind of like him, looks like like a doctor. I painted him up almost. And then I think Gak, maybe? I don't know. This dude, big blue man with his multiple arms. So yeah, the miniatures, I would say, are nice. They're quite clean. They're quite easy. I didn't have any mold lines to clean up, or if I did, I've missed them because I didn't actually clean any up. And I think they finished up really nice. So all in all, I'd say this box set is nice, clean, easy box set, well made. The only thing my only gripe, I would say, is the rule book is not easy to follow and isn't particularly well written. So yeah, that's the only thing. But you can always find someone explaining how to play it online. So all in all, I'd say it's a decent game. I'm looking forward to having a go on it. But until next time, I'm going to say goodbye from me, Welsh Miniature Board Gamer.